Ah, my favorite time of the year, the holiday season, a time of joy and celebration of the year that had come and gone. And what better way to cap off the year than knowing that it's the same year that Ken Okoyama's G40 RX-78 got bootlegged. Hello everyone, this is Modeling with Variety, and today we're taking a look at this, the G40th design of the RX-78, designed by renowned industrial designer Ken Okuyama, bootlegged by allegedly Daban Models, to see if this quite peculiar form of the RX-78 still holds up even in its bootleg iteration. And why I said allegedly is that I do not know what company bootlegged the G40, but the runners and labels do seem that it is from Daban. And with that said, let's take a look. Looking around the box, and well, Daban really tried to make this a premium feeling box with a matte finish. G40 on the front with a small letter G instead of the big G. Fighter Industrial Design version G40. The actual products may vary from the image show for sure, and the completed product in the image has been painted, though I bet. On the bottom of the box writes you some blurb about the Fighter G40 and some standing poses. Fighter G40 on the sides and some action poses and warning labels on the top side. Opening the box, you'd see one bag of runners and your manual. It doesn't have that special booklet that the G40 originally came with, which kinda sucks. But it's also understandable considering that might cost more to print than to bootleg this entire model kit. The runners do feel like Daban, and as I said in the intro, it has the markings of a Daban made model kit, such as the runner labels and the plastic sheen. The plastic is ABS and will not work with your normal plastic cement. I always say this since this might be your first video that you see on my channel, and welcome, and you need a special type of plastic cement for ABS plastic, so keep that in mind. Also, be careful of those loose in runner parts because you might lose them. I've heard that every part of this model is used, so losing a part in the building process will be catastrophic. That said, let's build it up and see how it looks. So yeah, I really think that this is a Daban made model kit. The reason being that building this up, it does feel like the previous models I've already covered on this channel, such as the Core Gundams and the Super Gundam. There might be some places in your copy that doesn't fit right because of the inconsistent tolerances of these bootleg models, and that is part of the usual trifecta of bad stickers, bad tolerances, and bad polycaps that plague these model kits, which is to be expected when building such. This may be different based on your copy, though the stickers on the head are passable in my opinion. Anyway, the build experience is alright, the plastic cut feels good and it came together nicely. There are some inconsistencies with the mold which you may consider as annoying because you'd have to trim pegs, and will have to take extra care with what you trim, because it might affect the overall build. I'll teach you something of a tip when building this model kit. It's this action right here. When you do this, you slowly trim the peg to fit that part of your model. Do it very, very slowly. The reason being that if you overdo it, the kit may become loose, and even worse, it might not be even built at all. The look of the model is a mix of glossy and matte, and I can't really compare with the normal one since surprise surprise people gobbled it up since it was a limited print run, which is a shame really, because this is such a unique model kit that in my opinion everyone needs to experience at least once. I'd even argue 2 times. Since the whole model kit is such a unique thing, from the box opening up to the runners to the build experience, that I think, in my opinion, that everybody that loves model kits should at least experience once. That being said, Daban did copy this model kit to an amazing degree. You could see the notches on the thighs, the chest still looks like the front of a car, and to even the detail on the bottom of the feet. Again, an amazing copy. Now let's get on to the articulation and accessories. The head goes up very nicely, down not as good, but it does have this joint under the neck to help with that. Side to side slightly, and goes around 360. One comment that I have with the head is that it has a slimmer neck joint than what was advertised. It's so thin and weird when it's posed just looking straight. It just looks so odd to me, but I get how there had to have some compromises when it comes to the original design versus the actual model kit, especially how strange this one looks compared to the original RX-78. The shoulder is quite something because it works in tandem with the joint in the body, where this joint just goes inside and lets the arm go up more. There's even this shoulder armor that goes out of the way and lets the arm go up even further. And it even has this weird joint that swivels front and backward to help with the forward and backward reach of the model. Though I remember this joint being one of the hardest to put together, so remember to slightly trim the peg and be careful to not over trim this joint. The bicep can move 360, but the actual part of the bicep is just free floating, so it's kind of annoying when you're trying to put it into a convincing pose. There's supposed to be a joint here in the forearm, but the connection of the model just doesn't let it. I really don't know why. Put down in the comments what you think what happened. The hands are fairly detailed and has this wrist joint which lets the Gundam do more natural holding poses. The whole abdomen has this weird joint system which gives the Gundam a decent enough crunch and kind of an arching back. It could also rotate at the bottom. The whole skirt section is fixed. I personally do not get why. In the 40th anniversary video, the thigh just clipped through the skirt while fighting the Zaku. It could even be seen right here. So it kind of does seem that it became an oversight in my opinion. The mechanism on the pelvis section kind of makes up for it, but it's kind of overly complicated way to solve a problem that is, which isn't supposed to be a problem to begin with, being that front skirts usually aren't really fixed. Anyway, the mechanism lets the whole back of the pelvis section drop down to get the legs to avoid the fixed skirt part. And not only that, there's another separate joint that lets the leg drop out even more. There's this joint on the thigh which lets the bottom of the leg extend out like that. Then it just swivels on that joint, which gives the leg that far of a kick. It, of course, could spin at the top of the thigh. It has a beautiful double-jointed knee joint. Has this weird lower calf joint that rotates just a little bit here. The ankle armor is on this ball joint and has this separate flap for some reason. The ankle lets the foot move forward that far, back that far, and pivots very well. And the feet themselves have some sort of 3-joint system, which is kind of seen with the MG 2.0 Gundam, which has a toe and middle section. The backpack has few places for articulation, such as the swiveling beam saber holder and the thrusters that move up like that. The accessories are few but alright for this type of model. 2 pairs of hands which are holding and open, and 1 trigger finger hand. The beam rifle though isn't great because there's a seam lane down the middle and I had to superglue it together. But this is to be expected with HG model kits, let alone bootleg ones. And the shield is quite interesting. It has an attachment for the backpack and the sides of the arm, but it also has two handles. One for the hand when it's on the arm, and one to hold while it's being used as a handheld shield. I almost forgot the stand. It even has these prongs, which isn't ideal for a lot of kits, but it helps with this kit for sure. And that's all of it. So yeah, if you haven't tried out the G40 and been wanting to try out one, this is a great alternative because Bandai doesn't seem to have any plans to reprint the G40 anytime soon, maybe even never at all. If you really like to read Ken Okuyama's insight whilst making this model kit, it doesn't come here, which is a shame, but I bet someone already scanned the thing and put it on the internet. And if you take every con this kit has and is still okay with it, I'd say go for it. I'm thoroughly enjoying mine. That's about it. Thanks for watching. Hey, wait! I still have some stuff to say before you go. First off, sorry that I've been gone for a while. Real life just gets in the way sometimes and the channel had to go on the back burner for a while. Which is a shame really, because Daban had releases such as the Dynamens and the Gyaradoga based MG Yagedoga. But anyway, I've seen we've reached 500 plus subscribers. Yeah! Thanks so much for your guys' support, and for the 500 sub thank you video, I'm going to try to at least introduce a painting method which is both fast and efficient for people who just want to get a model done. It has a lot of drawbacks though, which I will mention in the video, but I will hope that it will help you in your hobby journey. Oh yeah, that's about it, and thanks for watching. Yeah, that's really it. Thank you so much for 500 subs, and yeah, thanks for watching.